Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today, we'll do a quick overview of India's laws and policies relating to the oil and gas sector, particularly relating to exploration and production. India, the world's third largest energy consumer, heavily relies on oil and gas, accounting for about 39% of its energy consumption. In April 2021, India had substantial reserves of crude oil and natural gas, totaling over 475 million metric tons and 1,141.31 billion cubic meters, respectively. However, despite these reserves, a significant portion of the oil and gas consumed in India is imported, with about 85.5% of crude oil and 49.1% of natural gas being brought in from other countries. India also reported the possibility of about 610 million tons of natural gas in Andaman Basin. To boost domestic production, the Indian government has implemented various licensing regimes throughout the years. Let's break them down. Oil nomination regime, blocks awarded till late 1970s. Under this regime, the Petroleum Exploration License, that is PEL, was granted to the national oil companies, Oil India Limited and Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, on a nomination basis. Pre-NELP regime, that is blocks awarded between 1980 and 1995. During this period, private companies were awarded 28 exploration blocks. Oil and ONGC were given the right to participate in these blocks after discovery. Currently, there are 11 active pre-NELP production sharing contracts. NELP regime, blocks awarded between 1997 and 2010. The new exploration licensing policy, that is the NELP, was introduced in 1999, allowing companies, including private and foreign ones, to bid for exploration blocks through an international competitive bidding process. A total of 254 production sharing contracts was signed under 9 licensing rounds, with 43 contracts still active as of 2020 and 2021. HELP regime, blocks to be awarded after 2016. In 2016, the Indian government introduced the Hydrocarbon Exploration and Licensing Policy, that is HELP, to attract more private participation and foreign investments. HELP brings some key features to the table, such as uniform license for all forms of hydrocarbon exploration, revenue sharing model, marketing and pricing freedom, reduced royalty rates, and exploration rights for the full contract duration. Under HELP, the government has completed 7 open RKH licensing policies, that is OALP, bid rounds, awarding 134 blocks. Additionally, 2 bid rounds have been completed for the discovered small fields, that is the DSF, resulting in 54 revenue sharing contracts RSCs being signed. One notable change under HELP is the unification of licensing regimes for conventional and non-conventional resources. Previously, contractors could only explore and produce conventional resources like crude oil and natural gas, but now they can also tap into non-conventional resources like coal bed methane, that is CBM, and shale under a single license. Despite these efforts, the Indian oil and gas sector faces challenges in boosting domestic production and attracting foreign investments, but the government is continuously working on reforms to address these issues. Now, let's take a look at the legal and regulatory framework in India's oil and gas sector. India operates under a federal constitution where legislative powers are divided between the central and state governments. The regulation and development of oil fields, mineral oil resources, petroleum, and petroleum products fall under the jurisdiction of the Union Parliament, while state governments handle matters like land use, labor, water, and local government. Key legislation governing the upstream oil and gas sector includes the primary legislation in the oil fields, that is the Regulation and Development Act 1948, which covers licensing and leasing of oil and gas blocks. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Rules 1959 provides detailed provisions for granting licenses and leases. Besides these, there are several safety, environmental, and pollution control legislations which regulate the industry. India also follows the Good International Petroleum Industry Practices, that is the GIPIP, and GIPIP is a set of guidelines for the safe, efficient, and environmentally sound conduct of petroleum operations. It was developed by the World Petroleum Council in 1998 and is updated on a regular basis. The GIPIP covers a wide range of topics, including health, safety and environmental management, well integrity, drilling and completion operations, production operations, transportation and storage, and decommissioning. The GIPIP is not legally binding, but it is widely accepted by the petroleum industry as a set of best practices. Companies that adhere to the GIPIP can demonstrate their commitment to safety, efficiency, and environmental protection. In India, the GIPIP is referenced in the production sharing contracts, that is the PSCs, that are issued to companies for petroleum exploration and production. This means that companies that operate under a PSC are legally required to comply with the GIPIP. The GIPIP is an important tool for improving the safety, efficiency, and environmental performance of the petroleum industry. By following it, companies can help to protect workers, communities, and the environment. There are several regulatory and administrative agencies overseeing the sector. The Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas is the nodal ministry at the federal government level, while the Directorate General of Hydrocarbons advises and regulates upstream activities. We also have the Oil Industry Safety Directorate, the Directorate General of Mine Safety, and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board, each responsible for specific aspects of safety, regulation, and oversight. India has found hydrocarbon resources around the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In 2019, the Directorate General of Hydrocarbons announced that it had discovered an estimated 610 million tons of natural gas reserves in the Andaman Basin. The reserves are located in the deep water area of the Andaman Sea, about 150 kilometers off the coast of the Andaman Islands. The DGH has also conducted seismic surveys in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands that have indicated the presence of oil and gas deposits. However, no commercial oil or gas fields have been discovered in the area yet. The Government of India is keen to explore the hydrocarbon potential of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In 2020, the government launched a new exploration and production round in the Andaman Basin. The round offered 10 blocks for bidding with an estimated total value of $10 billion. The government is also planning to invest in infrastructure development in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands to support the E&P industry. This includes the construction of new ports, roads, and airports. The discovery of hydrocarbon resources in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands has the potential to boost the economy of the region and make India a major player in the global energy market. However, it is important to note that the exploration and production of oil and gas in the Andaman Sea is a challenging undertaking. The area is remote and difficult to access, and the seabed is deep and rugged. The Government of India is aware of the challenges involved in exploring and producing oil and gas in the Andaman Sea. However, it is confident that the potential rewards outweigh the risks. The government is committed to developing the hydrocarbon resources of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in a safe and sustainable manner. It is likely that the government's legislative framework and policies may also evolve as the work in Andamans gathers momentum. When it comes to international conventions and agreements, India is a signatory to the Convention on the Recognition and Enforcement of Foreign Arbitral Awards and the Geneva Convention on the Execution of Foreign Arbitral Awards. This means that if a party receives a binding award from a country that is a signatory, it can be enforceable in India. India also has bilateral investment treaties, that is BITs, and double taxation avoidance arrangements with numerous countries to facilitate investment and avoid double taxation. However, there have been recent developments and proposed changes in these treaties, with the Indian government adopting a revised model text for BITs and issuing notices to terminate certain existing BITs. So there you have it, a brief overview of the legal, regulatory and international aspects of India's oil and gas sector. Despite the challenges, the Indian government is continuously working on reforms to boost domestic production and attract foreign investments. That's a wrap for today's video. If you found this information interesting, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel.